And that beat takes us into the grapevine on a Thursday morning. This is the Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life, the entertainment side of life on a Thursday. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:15 in the morning, we dive into what's going on in the entertainment world. All the gist, all the tea will be spilled, all the tables will be shaken and or broken, depending on what it is that is on the line. Welcome into another interesting time on radio. One of the chillest times on radio, I have to admit. My name is Ayokunmi, and it's going to be interactive. So we look forward to you sharing your thoughts with us. Banter, everything. It is welcome. It's a grapevine after all. WhatsApp number is 0911 999 0911 999 That is the WhatsApp number to leave your messages. You can also join the live stream on YouTube. You can find us at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. All right. On a Thursday, you already know I have two of the finest gentlemen joining me to give their perspective. Shake all the tables, shakeable. In the persons of, first of all, Oris. Oris, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ayo. Happy to be here once again.
Oh, happy to have you because I know that you're going to have some very interesting takes this morning. That is why we love having you on the grapevine, Oris. And of course, the other main man joining me this morning, the one, the only, James Silas.
Yeah, good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Oris. Good morning, everybody, wherever you're listening from. Yes, so we're live.
Oh, yes, indeed, we are live. Tayo is also live with us on WhatsApp. Tayo just sent a picture. I'm not going to tell the content of the picture, and the caption is me looking for directions to the grapevine. Old age is real, Tayo. The first thing is admitting to yourself that is an issue. You can then solve the problem. I'll leave it at that. But welcome into the grapevine. All right, gentlemen, let us begin this morning with a little bit of controversy. And when I said that Oris is going to have some very interesting takes this morning, this is one of the reasons I actually said so. Let's talk about Kunle Afolayan. Yes, he has been making very there we are. So making some very interesting comments, and he actually has been urging critics and viewers to be patient with his new Netflix series, Anikulapo the Ghoul Awakens, saying his films are made for intellectuals and not the masses. Now, he explained that he doesn't expect everyone to understand or like his work, but is focused on appealing to those who appreciate deeper narratives. And now he says, and I'm quoting here, that there's something that is very peculiar about the kind of films that we make. We make films for the intellectual, not gbasgbos. We make films for people who can think. I'm going to end the quotes there for now, but Oris, do you feel like this is Kunle sort of lashing out at people who have criticized his most recent work, or does he have a leg to stand on, when you think about it?
No. You have absolutely no leg to stand on. So let's get that right. First things first. No, there's absolutely not a single leg he has to stand on, not even half, not even a finger, not even a toenail to stand on, to be honest. And yet, I have to say that this is not peculiar. Kunle has been very, historically, Kunle Afolayan has had what's the word now? A tricky relationship with people who say anything but fracturing words about his projects. 10 years ago, he was battling people on the internet, and I know I've had my personal stuff with Kunle in the past as well. So he is, and I like it, to be honest. He kind of wears his emotions when it comes to his work on his sleeve, which is fine. The problem I have with this is saying that people are not intellectual enough to grasp an unfortunately bad project that you've done. That's my major issue here. It is not that this is too high for us. No, it is that Anikulapo, the season 2, I mean, that's what we have currently. It's just not a great project. And to be honest, Kunle has not done a great project since he did October 1. In fact, the reason why we are speaking of Kunle now is because of the first 3 films he did, which I think all of them are like mini classics, at least for where we are. What's the name? The first one was Figurine, of course, which is a definitive movie in our film history. Then he did I think people don't talk about it enough, a very, very good comedy called Phone Swap. I thought that was a very, very great, that was a very, very, just a fine comedy, subtle, very nice. And then he did October 1, which was like his own magnum opus at the time. Those three movies are the reason why Kunle is Kunle today. If we are discussing Kunle based on what he's done since a film called The CEO in 2015, we would not be discussing Kunle because his output would have been really poor. But he's had those three projects in the beginning of his career to have a major. So that's why he has two legs to stand on. Those three films. A reason why he actually has that. Nothing after that. So, but to come back to Anikulapo, and let's not forget that Anikulapo had a particular story before when he did the movie. He had Kunle Remy Asaro and his old alliances with women. Suddenly, Anikulapo no longer exists. That Saro no longer exists in the universe that he's created. It's somebody else. And unfortunately, this person is not as compelling as Saro was initially. So there's many things. In fact, I don't want to get into all of that. There are many things wrong with the current project, and this is just only being emotional, which I guess is fine, but he's wrong. We are not nobody's. I don't. Well, maybe not nobody, but people who have sense will also have a problem with what he's doing. In a sense, what is happening is that when you depend heavily on the academic way of thinking about projects like this, I think you fall into the ditch that I sense Kunle has fallen into. The academia, they don't say this is bad or this is good. They evaluate what the person has done. Kunle has always enjoyed that because he was one of our foremost directors. I mean, he's still one of our foremost directors in the past 15 years. So it means that they've been evaluating what he's saying and not judging it. Unfortunately, on the internet, judging is what happens. And for journalistic critics, they need to say this is good or this is bad. Unfortunately, the current work just isn't, compared to what he's done in the past, by the way, it's just not good. And I think that we should remember too that I think another reason why Kunle did this video where he's in quote lashing out, I don't think it's only because of the criticism he's having about Anikulapo. I think there's a spillover from the whole thing with Funke. So if he's saying to the public that he does intellectual movies, the silent part of that commentary is that this is not a Funke Akindele film, which of course we know what we get with Funke, the kind of goofy, kind of comedy kind of thing, you know. And those are the biggest movies now. So there's a sense in which what he's talking about now is not just necessarily about the direct criticism about this project. It's also that, okay, I've been attacked for like 3 weeks or so. He's been attacked because of what he said about the billions and Funke. I think he just got to a point where it's like, you know what? I got that one for the past 2 weeks. Now there's a new week and I'm getting hit about Anikulapo. Together, he's addressing it, but it sounds like he's only speaking about one. But I suspect heavily that he's also feeling some kind of backlash from what happened with Funke.
Oris, sorry, James, I'm pretty sure you have your own maybe distinct thoughts on this one, but how do you think this is going to affect Kunle Afolayan going forward, looking at how he has addressed the current situation and his works down the line?
No, I don't think it will affect him in any terrible way. Kunle, what's it called? You know, he has a parallel with the streaming platforms. All right. So he'll keep doing what and if you check for a lot of even film festivals everywhere, like a lot of places, Kunle still has like a fair share of his seats where he goes to speak and, you know, they recognize or acknowledge him. So I don't know about affecting him or the business. A lot of times, I think, if I'm not mistaken, for a platform like Netflix, he has the rapport where he's also funded for filmmaking. You know, I mean, I'm sure he will still add his own, you know, but I think they tend to they sort of fund his projects. So, but away from that, the only thing that will happen is people will talk after some time, will forget about all the conversation. So I also don't think that if all his movies were for intellectuals, that he would have been this popular. The market for intellectuals has never been so, you know,
never been big in Nigeria.
So, true. But I understand the pressure. Like Ori said, I mean, what's her name? Funke Akindele is the Wizkid of the movie industry. Her fan base is, you know, so.
Did you say the Wizkid of the movie industry?
As in, that's Funke Akindele is the Wizkid of the movie industry.
Why not the burner?
She has a huge fan base. No, Burner has never dragged the link with them. He has always said he's in his own space. Nobody's talking to. So you talk about Funke as the Wizkid, talk about Tony Abraham as the Davido, however you want to place them. But I'm just kidding. So, but yeah, that's basically the situation. I think that Kunle will be fine. When the special come, and then of course this is also an opportunity for him to, get more visibility, and in case whenever the projects, people will still say, what's this Kunle Afolayan about? If you don't know him, now you start listening and you start checking out, whatever movie or project that he has. But I think it's all is fair in war.
Yeah. I think, James, I think you're very correct. There's no Kunle will be fine at the end of the day, I think Kunle's name just works magic, to be honest, and it has been working magic for a long time. And you must remember that the way streaming works doesn't work like cinemas. You don't necessarily have to prove your greatness on streaming. If you have enough name, you will be fine. People in the cinemas, you have to week by week justify why you are still going to be in the cinemas. This one is just there. So even in a sense, even all of this noise that you are making about the project, I don't think it's a good project. I've seen it. I think it's not horrible, but just not good. That's my belief. It's a little bit too boring to be. It's too boring and so intellectual. So it's a terrible. So in my own view, it's lose. That's what an equalator is. But beyond that, the fact of our discussing this is going to lead people to go and see what it is. Unfortunately, on places like Netflix, all you have are the hours. It's not necessarily the quality. So it means that he will have the hours. The next time they'll probably want to do something with Nigeria, they'll probably consider him again. So yeah, so I think there is no loss, honestly, for Kunle, except of course reputational loss, which is that okay, people feel like he's not doing great stuff anymore. That I think is the only issue that he has, not the business at all. He'll be fine.
Well, the gentlemen have said it that Kunle will be fine eventually. So for all the intellectuals out there, we'd love to get your thoughts on.
No, apparently I'm not an intellectual anymore. I'm not an intellectual because I don't like the project, so I must be one Olodo.
Let's see if other people have send your messages into us on WhatsApp on 0911-999-0981. Also, leave your comments on YouTube at Smooth981 FM Lagos. We'll take a brief pause, and when we come back in, we'll be diving into another update concerning Teddy and Bam Bam. Well, there were rumors and stories flying around, and now they seem to have unfollowed each other on Instagram. Could these stories be true? We'll find out about that and so much more on the other side. This is The Grapevine on Smooth 98.1.
And music station.
Wait, I beg, have you guys seen I thought somebody mentioned to me that there was a video of Bam Bam dancing at a party. That was part of the issue, but I've not seen the video. Has anybody seen it?
I didn't see that too.
I haven't.
You said?
I haven't seen that too. Let me even enter X and see.
Let me see if I can quickly Google it.
You said?
Let me see if I can quickly Google it.
Yeah, somebody said it was a video that she was dancing, and that's part of the problem. I was like, I've not seen that one.
I don't see anything.
Okay. There's there's been this whole discussion about people kissing on screen. Have you seen that conversation? Have you seen the conversation? Yeah. So I was thinking that there's a link between those two things.
Goodness gracious. A chalugo. All right. All right, welcome back into The Grapevine. It's a Thursday morning. This is Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. The Smooth Breakfast is in full swing. Ayokunmi Kikireko right here with you. And of course, it has been two of the finest gentlemen you'd ever meet in the persons of Oris. Welcome back into the show.
Thank you.
And of course, James Silas.
Yeah.
That's what's up, bringing all the energy. We love it. Join us on the show Leave your messages, your comments on YouTube and on WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp number is 0911 999 0981. 0911 999 And YouTube, leave your comments for us at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos, where we are streaming live. And we love to always read your messages and get your thoughts in. Okay, back into the nitty-gritty of the issues this morning. Teddy A and Bam Bam. We talked about this on Tuesday, if you were part of the show at that point, talking about what's been going on with the both of them. There were allegations of domestic violence and all, and it seemed like there was trouble in paradise. Well, they've sparked some fresh concerns about the state of their marriage after some, I like to call them observant fans, noticed that the pair no longer follow each other on Instagram. Now, one surefire way to know that there's trouble in paradise for couples and all that is when they don't follow each other anymore on Instagram when they used to. So, James, we are here now. Another update. Now, there have been different speculations, different theories as to why this happened. You know, some people have said, oh, because Bam Bam, you know, her star has been rising and so on. Others have said it's because of Achalugo and so on and so forth, kissing on screen, this and that. You know, people will always speculate, but I mean, here we are right now having this conversation on the grapevine.
So I was on TVC, I think sometime last week or last 2 weeks, and then we're talking about actors, the roles they take up, kissing on scenes and all of those. I mean, in movies and relationships, you know. And this whole Bam Bam thing was one of the things we talked about. Not their relationship, but just generally people, married people, whether you're married or not, just play your character basically, and then relating to real life. Okay, so the connection to that conversation was what's her name? What's her name? Yoruba actress. Oris, she's been in, but Yoruba.
Mercy again.
Thank you, Mercy Agbe. Yes, you're right. So she had this male actor in the movie that that was coming out. I don't know if it's out now. And at an event, you know, they had like a brief lip kiss. Do you understand? They had a brief lip kiss, and that sort of sparked controversy. People talked about it and everything. So that was our reference to the conversation. So, but let me just quickly take it to this Bam Bam and Teddy thing. First of all, I know that internet investigators will always, I don't know how they go and check and see that you're not following each other anymore. I don't know if that's valid. I don't know if that, but I mean, there's no way a couple, married people, or friends are not following themselves on social media. You know, if they are following themselves before and then suddenly you see that they unfollow each other, it will be somehow. But what's funny is how they go and check and find out that they are no longer following each other. Now, I don't know about the kissing scenes or whatever romantic roles that the actors take up on, you know, on the big screen. Before you go into acting and before they even got married, Bam Bam was an actress. Teddy too was probably an actor, but I knew that he was more of a musician than an actor. But yes, but I know I've seen him in I think a couple of 2 movies or so. So it simply means that they both know or they knew the brief before they got into the relationship. So at this point in time, if they're having issues, I don't know. We don't have any concrete proof, just speculations, what people are saying here and there. But there's also the saying that there's never, you know, smoke without fire. So there might be something, but we don't know yet. Even for Chude to bring out an old interview with Teddy A is simply tapping into the trend of conversation going on right now. Is that also? So, but I wish them all the best. I'm not very sure. I don't know, you know, the facts, but I know that some people will have an issue with you kissing on taking kissing roles or romantic roles in movies. But I also believe that these conversations will have been had before they even go into the movie industry at all, because is that you were dating and then your boyfriend has said, look, I don't want to take another roles, and it questions the place of professionalism in all of this. I mean, I don't know, I might have an issue with my partner taking too many of those kind of romantic roles, like Claude the industry sort of boxes you or they sort of type you into a certain character once you do it very well. And that's the sad part of the business. You know, I also don't think that a lot of the kissing scenes or romantic scenes or whatever it is that they show sometimes, they are necessary. You know, just people are talking to you and they are all touchy and so on. Some people just catch feelings and it might be an issue. But I wish and I pray that they are not having real issues like, you know, the internet is talking about. Sometimes they sort of even want to make you believe so to enjoy attention and actually maybe, you know, boost their ratings. But I mean, all the best to them.
All the best to them, Oris. Get your own thoughts in on this particular one.
I think the real issue here is not necessarily Bam Bam or Teddy. It's the overwrought morality of Nigerians. I'm always of the opinion that a marriage is its own economy. It is its own thing, you know. So whatever happens there, isn't anybody's one business, but also can be very peculiar. What happens in one marriage that makes it last or makes it work might not necessarily happen in a different marriage, and it works for them. So, you know. But one thing that I don't think is helpful to any marriage is like permitting too many outsiders within that your small country that you formed with your partner. So, but one of the things about the internet and people who are famous is almost inevitable that people would have opinions about what it is that you are doing. So I have seen quite a bit of commentary on the idea of Bam Bam's roles. Not roles, that specific one with Uzo Arukwe and the whole thing about kissing on screen and stuff. Me, I'm of the opinion that if the husband says it's fine, it should be fine. That is how I think about it. But for many Nigerians, it means something to them to say, you know what, this isn't right. Even if I'm not your husband, I'm not your wife, I have to have the right to tell you that, you know, this thing I'm seeing on TV isn't right. And because I won't permit it in my marriage, you too shouldn't permit it in your own marriage. You know, I think that's the subtext of what is currently happening. But that said, I'm not sure. I don't think anybody knows. I don't think it means a lot to not follow someone with who you see every day on the internet. I don't think necessary. I have 6 siblings. I suspect I'm not following any single one of them online. I think so. You know, and they've sent me, 1 or 2 of them have sent me friend requests. This is back when Facebook was the thing, and I just said no. Declined it.
Can you imagine?
So it doesn't
Why?
No. Always don't know about that. Ayo. You think always has sense like that?
I don't think that. I mean, I see you in real life. Why do we need to be having this performative relationship on the internet? So I don't know if these people they're following themselves. I don't know too why they did that, you know. But I know that in my own personal life, I would not follow my siblings, and I don't want them to follow me either. So that's a thing that happens in my life. So I can't understand why this is such a big deal. I think until we hear from the horse's mouth or from a stronger source,
reliable source,
that there's actual trouble in paradise. I don't think there's more to talk about now, you know, until that. Like I said, the other thing to discuss is the whole thing about romantic roles on screen. But as James pointed out, if you knew this before and you were fine with it, it's a little unfair. At least that's how I think about it, to switch the rules when you then get in. You said it is fine, Abi, and we kind of have worked out a few things over the years. Why are you switching it? So I don't know if that's what's happening to them. But if that's the case, I always think the person who is switching is the person who is at fault.
I think she's the narrative may have switched after she went through the knife. So that time you are not looking like this, but now these guys.
But it's funny. I think no, but
just kidding.
Not just kidding. I think there is a but I want to address this actually. I think there is a place for that discussion that a person becomes conventionally attractive, and that sets a certain level of insecurity in the partner. I think it's entirely fine to consider this as a thing that happens. You were not famous before, you become famous within the marriage or within the relationship, and then your stock goes up. Everybody wants to toast you, in quotes.
And dinner is not served as when it used to be served before.
I mean perspective. Perspectives
Yeah.
can change. I can change my mind
No, but yeah,
eventually about
anyway,
something.
my point is, I think the person who has changed has to be the one to say, hey, or the person who gets the most attention has to be the person who is willing to say, hey, I understand this, but let me let you know that nothing between us has altered. The problem is that sometimes when the person, in quotes, as they call it, grows like this, um, he or she begins to think of somebody, of being the bigger person as a way to dull their own light. And I think that's where there's usually like issues going forward. But I think it's entirely fine to be insecure if your partner switches up in glory. I think it's human because that's how we about it.
Well, I mean, as you have said, let's wait for some more reliable sources before we come to any conclusions. We're just speaking based on some of the things that we've seen and noticed at this point in time. As we wrap up the show this morning, we need to also still talking about marriage. James, I'm glad you're actually here because you need to come and defend the men folk on this one because I'm not understanding the comments that have been made by Uche Obodo. She has shared her own thank God it's an opinion, her opinion on major cause of divorce. Now, she claimed that the male gender contributes 95% in failed marriages. And according to her, most marriages fail because a significant number of men neglect, emotionally abuse, betray, or cheat on their spouses. Now, I think we need to invite her to the grapevine to show us the
We
study
do.
that she did. To show us the
I
study
agree.
that she did, that she came to the conclusion that 90, not 80 or 95% of men are at fault. James, please help us here.
Yeah, it's interesting that she had figures to her claim, 95%. Wow. And that's coming from somebody who has been divorced twice, you know.
Oh, really? Jimmy, you was
So,
right.
I mean, 2 failed marriages. Is that not what it's saying?
Oh, really?
I was
I
just
didn't know
reading.
this. So that even puts extra context.
Yeah, so, but maybe she's also talking from experience. I don't know, I'm just saying, but we can't just throw the blame on the male gender. When it comes to marriage, there's no one size fits all. People have their unique problems in their marriages. And I don't know whether in all of the stories around there, 95% have been blamed on the men. Men have their issues, women have their issues. Relationships, go south sometimes,
Yeah.
maybe a lot of times. But
Men have their
if she had
issues,
said
women
so,
have their issues. Ayo too has
perhaps she
his
has
own issues.
dated or
How did
married
I
or
come
been
into
with
this?
100 people to put the blame on 95%. My hands are clean.
I know your hands are clean, James. I believe you. I can trust you on that one. But Oris, I mean, I know that you want to shake the table a little bit before we wrap up with
No,
the show.
I mean, I don't know. I have no plans to shake this famous table. I just want to say that James is the right person to talk about this because James is a married man. The rest of us who do not have this experience, it's a little tricky for us to like give our 2 cents. But
Boris,
I will
that's not
still
the
give my
excuse.
2 cents.
You
But wait
have
now.
also been in a relationship. So I don't think it's about
But
just
she
marriage.
said marriages. But she did not say relationships. She did not say these things are crumbling because of.
There you go.
She said marriages. So I don't believe that. I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true. I think if at all, if there's never going to be stats, of course, I haven't done any study. It has to be 50-50. Men are responsible for a lot of them. Women are also responsible for a lot of them. That's what I think happens. But I also think that there could be contextual reasons. The environment just doesn't work. I think we understate, or rather, we underestimate the influence that, at least in Nigeria, families have on marriages. You get. So it might be the case that the man doesn't want to leave, the woman doesn't want to leave, but the families or something, have put a certain strain on their relationship. And that could be a reason why people say, you know what, want to go our separate ways. So
Yeah.
so maybe I should adjust and say, I'm sure there is maybe 40% men, 40% women, 20% environment. So I think that's probably a better thing rather than putting all of the blame on men. But as you find on the internet, it looks to me like there's a certain level of glory reserved for people who are able to portray themselves as victims. So if Uche Obodo, who is a woman, is wanting to paint herself as a victim, of course, her job is to say the issue is not from people like me. It is
Right.
from the others. And the others in this case are men. And we know that I think online, I don't think that locally or nationally, Nigerian men, in quotes, have a great reputation when it comes to affairs or to marriages or relationships. We have a better reputation outside of the country, I suspect. So I'm not entirely surprised that a Nigerian woman online says, you know what, when it comes to breakups, the problem lies with men. I don't believe he's right, but I understand that, it makes sense for a woman to say so on the internet.
So sorry, can I quickly just see? Okay, check again. So she's in her second marriage. The first one, she got divorced in the first one, 2013 or so. But she's in her second one, so she got married to her second baby daddy. So just for in case.
All right, let me take the messages here. Cisco Delgado says, Ayo, please invite me to talk on behalf of menfolk. If Oris cannot talk about it, I will prove Uchobodo totally wrong. Okay. Cisco is taking up the mantle. This is Tayo from Aja, who says, I agree with the dynamic duo of VDM James and Lord Oris for bringing their intellectual to the Oris didn't even waste time to remove existing protocol for Kunle to stand on. Kunle Afolayan is asking for patience after setting fire to the rain. He better be intellectual in delivering relatable movies or join the wave and wear his dancing shoes in his movie village. James, who's the Burner and Davido of the movie industry? Okay, well,
Burner has to be Kunle Afolayan. Then
no,
Whiskey.
It's a lie. It is not true. There is currently not a single person who can. There's nobody in the industry who can say he's the Burna Boy. Nobody has international credibility the way Burna Boy does. Nobody has high critical acclaim the way Burna Boy does. So maybe the person who is probably close is what's her name, Jadi Oshiberu. She might be maybe Kemi before To Kill a Monkey. But I think nobody right now can really say what. Mo doesn't have what film has she done that has international credibility? No, she doesn't have that either. She doesn't. So there's no Burna Boy. That's the point I'm making. That person is going to come soon, but we don't have the person as we speak.
Tayo is also asking who is also the portable self. That one you're on your own, Tayo. I will not put my hands on that one. He then says,
I know many.
Let's not mention any names, I beg. He then says, who will take care of a Achalugo like this? If there's domestic violence, please leave. I'm sure both of them will bounce back and continue with their lives. If Oris's siblings can't catch him, who am I even on e-bike to catch him? I leave him for God to catch him. 95% of lies. Another reason to fear that gender. In this her study, is she responsible for the whole 5%? That is a very big question. And also, rest in peace to Brad Arnold of Three Doors Down and James Van Der Beek. I saw that last night and I said, wow. Man.
Oh yes, I saw that too. Dawson Creek.
Yeah. And Brad Arnold has been struggling with cancer for a while. He passed away earlier on in the week as well. Rest in peace to both of them. Amazing what they did.
I hope Smooth FM plays a few of those Brad Arnold songs. I'm serious. Yeah, you guys have to play some of those Three Doors Down songs.
I'll see what I can do. I've been blasting Three Doors Down in the car all week. Well, it's normal for me anyway, but I'll see what I can do about that one. Let me see. Biggie from K2 says, I'm surprised that Teddy Bear and Bammy lasted this long. Teddy came from a toxic relationship before.
And why? Who is this person? Who's saying this?
Let me finish the message now.
Okay, no vex. I apologize.
He then said, Teddy came from a toxic relationship before this one. And celebrity marriages are always complicated with more real-life drama. Acting has a way, psychologically, of affecting their daily lives. It's not easy to embody a role. Okay, that's Big E's message, his own thoughts there. Senfajo says, hello guys, Senfajo, how you doing? He says, Omo, Anikulapo at some point wasn't making enough sense to me. Nevertheless, I just feel there might be something coming through soon. Keep your fingers crossed. At some point, Saro was told to go back to the world. Saro now comes back to kill those he resurrected, and suddenly his scene disappeared. Well, everybody's scratching their heads as to why Saro just, did a Harry Potter and vanished. And this is Judas from the island who says, Oris, man like Drake, James is cooking this morning. I can perceive the aroma. Funke like whiskey. That line has gotten me laughing hard. Last night, everybody will be okay. Some of us are just hustling for daily 5. Oh, it's not daily 5K. You all have
it has increased. Okay.
It has increased apparently. While some people are fighting over billions, like it's not Oris now. It's Irabo 1 trillion. God, I beg. I don't know if Oris has added trillion to his own yet. So he hasn't given me the updates yet, so I can't say specifically, if he has. So Oris, let us know if you're Oris 1 trillion now, like Irabo.
You know that they're always making the mistake of identifying myself and Irabo via our voices on radio. It's a long-running problem we have.
Till this day, I do not see the resemblance. I refuse to agree with it.
over radio, so I don't understand why, but they do.
Anyway, it's time to wrap it up. It has been an interesting morning as always. Thank you for your messages. Always a pleasure reading from you. And Oris and James, as usual, you coming through means a lot. Thank you so much, Oris.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So as I think has been said by one of the what's it called comments, my siblings don't catch me online, but you, all our listeners on Smooth FM, can catch me online. I just don't want them to catch me in real life. That is there for my siblings. But on the internet, feel free to catch me, and it's CATCHORIS on Twitter. That is where I mostly am these days.
All right. James Silas, thank you so much.
Yeah, James Silas, like you said, is the same on social media everywhere, Instagram, X, Facebook, everywhere. If you say hello to me and say you're from the Grapevine, I'll holler back. See you on the next one.
See you on the next one. Have a great Thursday, guys. Alrighty, it's time to go. It has been an interesting one, like I mentioned. My name is Ayokunmi. Keep it tuned to the Smooth Breakfast here on Smooth 98.